I have Matthew and Nathan. Thanks a ton for all your time, right? So for everybody, please do introduce yourself here.
Yeah, so we are twins. Twin brothers. We run a restaurant called the Hole in the Wall Cafe, uh, Bangalore based and Hyderabad based. So we have three in Bangalore, Koramangala, Indranagar, Kaminali, and one in Hyderabad.
So I do want to thank Bridget. Actually, she gave
Yes,
I think your sister's number, and then said no, you talk to them. Because whoever we're talking to, we hope you guys can give us at least one or two persons contact so that we can go and contact them as well. Because that's the way it usually goes, right? So would you guys help in giving us at least a contact?
Yes,
Anybody who you would know too?
absolutely. Why not?
Yeah.
Sure.
So when did you guys start this?
So we're about 16 years old. We started in 2009.
Wait, hold on. How much?
16.
You're joking.
Why?
You started at 16.
No, it's 16 years
Oh,
old.
16 years old. Okay, so sorry. How old? I mean, how old you guys? Yeah.
How old are we?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You guys know. Hold on.
Hey, come on, guess.
What do you want? 36, 37, 35, 30.
So old.
Wait, you're 28.
Way more than that.
Okay. Sorry.
It worked.
See, this is Anglo-Indians. You can't help it, right? There's one thing we're damn good at. Either we laugh and joke a lot, but nothing happens. So it's amazing to meet at least Anglo-Indian entrepreneurs who do something when the music usually stops. So that's what this is about, right? So 16 years ago. Okay.
15 years ago, yeah. We opened it. I opened it with my wife. We started in a small garage, 4 tables, very clean can visit sort of kind of thing. It was just something for her to do and basically offer food that we grew up on to the larger public.
No, sorry, I've got a thing here. Food you grew up on? Anglo-Indian food or what?
No, my wife is Mangalorean born.
Okay.
Mango. So yeah, food that, but widely different. I mean, still very continental food based, etc. In fact, if you ask me, she's probably more Anglo-Indian than me.
You see, that's what is not. I won't say shocking, but that's the thing. You have a lot of non-Anglo-Indians who are more Anglo-Indian than Anglo-Indians. Leslie, right?
In fact, she was a lot more jazzed up about us meeting you and doing this interview than I was.
So where is she?
She's not here.
What about you, Nan? I mean, Matthew.
What language?
Yeah, I mean, you joined then, or what was the story?
So I joined later on.
And you were doing what before?
We had another cafe. So his wife, sister as well, is also in the business. So we both of us were running another cafe, and now we've branched out into 2 more cafes.
So you have
basically how it was is we opened the first one.
Yeah.
Then we started slowly calling one family member after the other to run one outlet. So now we have 3. We have a lot more siblings, etc. But I still think they've caught on to the game, and nobody wants to get dragged into it. So it's 3 at the moment. I think it will still remain 3 in Bangalore at least.
But you got it in damn good places. Yeah, locations are amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you have to place yourself strategically enough for people to get to you. So yeah, but yeah,
incredible. Yeah, I mean, hats off to you guys. Awesome work. Now coming back to your roots as an Anglo-Indian, right? Your view of the community. How do you see it? What are the problems? And what do we need to solve these things, right? Because let's call spade a spade. We are almost dying out. I don't see ourselves like doing what we're doing next 20, 30 years. We're done. So your view of the community.
disconnected.
Little high, I mean.
To put it in one word, I think there's a huge disconnect between people in the community. There isn't anything that draws the community together. Everyone's happy doing their own thing. And I don't think it's not really, I mean, it's more of a surprise when you bump into somebody and they tell you that they're Anglo-Indian, but sometimes you don't really get that they are. And so in most cases, if you ask me personally, I could probably make up on somebody's name because that's a very it's a very British sounding name, or it's not really an Indian name. So for me, I would question it and say, "Are you Anglo?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, I am." That way, so you don't necessarily have a look as an Anglo-Indian. If you look like a normal person, there are a few giveaways. There are some people that are extremely fair that don't look exactly very Indian. So you would guess that they are Anglo-Indian. Once they give the name out, or when you have a conversation with them, you know that they are Anglo-Indian. You can probably guess. You don't have to ask them. But a lot of people don't really have a look as Anglo-Indians. So, I mean, I could, like, from my experience, I could tell from names. So I would be able to make that out. Again, coming back to the issues as such, I think when we were a lot younger, I think our parents were very involved with the associations and stuff like that. But for us, or at least for me, yeah, they still are. So I think they're part of, like, they're in Goa right now. So they are part of that association. They have joined there. And my dad's a very active. He likes to be part of these associations, like to be in tune with the community. It's different things. It's like even charitable trusts and like the school that we studied. We studied in Ooty, and there is it's an Anglo-Indian
Which
school,
school?
St. George's.
You in KT?
Yeah, KT.
Oh
So,
God.
so both of us we did some years there, and my dad is a part of that society as well. So
I'm so sorry. I have to cut you short there. I am dragged almost every year to your school because my dad is Georgian, right?
oh, okay.
Yeah. I was 76, 80. Oh my God. I don't understand this every year. Even this year now we have to go to KT there, right? And it's something with you guys like, no, have to do it, have to do it. And you guys are freakishly, the alumni there freakishly rich. Yeah. Hats off to you guys, but
I mean, I think it's more like it's just Katie calling. I think everybody wants to go back to school because I think, I mean, for speak for like a lot of people, like the best years of their life were in that school, even though we were tucked away in a little bit of a valley away from your folks and homesick. I don't think we really felt that like a lot. It plays with you. Yeah, the school it really grows on you, and it's. I mean, for me, that's probably for me that would be my top choice in terms of like all the schools that we've been to. Like KT was the best for me. Uh, and I see a lot of the passion in like the school groups online. Guys that have been there 40 years, 50 years ago, and they are still so passionate about it. I think they try and draw the younger guys to come for the annual alumni meet.
when did you guys go back last?
We've been planning, I think, for the last 5, 6 years. I've gone unofficially, not for the alumni. We went once for the. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we were in school, there was our head boy basically runs a resort in Mathew. So the famous Jungle Hut, Jungle Retreat used to be there. So they don't have the resort anymore. But we were very frequent to his place. We were very good friends with him. So he called us, let's go to, that's where the alumni thing is happening this weekend. So then we planned, we drove down there, and then he took us to school. But I see it every year. I think last year we celebrated 125 or 150 years.
150, I think.
100 years. Yeah. They did that 150, I think. So, I mean, like he has, he wanted to bring his daughters and show them the school that he studied in. So, and then my elder brother as well. So, I mean, our side of the family, there are 6 boys. One of those as well. Yeah.
Too far.
My wife would have that.
Now it's getting a little. Now, were there a lot of Anglo-Indians when you were there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I don't know. There hardly guys. We went there to ask, right? There was hardly anything, and plus there was some problem which. Anyway, that's a different story. Yeah, exactly. But coming back to the association here and the on the ground level at the grassroots level, what is, as I said, disconnect is one. Any other problems that you find?
So I'll go back to your earlier question. You asked what your first impressions of the community
Yes.
were, what the problems were.
Yeah.
So my first impression of the community. So when we grew up initially in the UK, then we moved here early teens into KT, boarding school, blah blah blah, and then we've been here ever. So it was kind of new for us because we didn't grow up with all the festivities that the community does and everything else. So it was kind of new to us. So the earliest memories that we do have are of the dances, of the Christmas tree. They have that bath every year, and then all of that stuff. But also, to be honest, the earliest impressions for me about the Anglo-Indian community was that they had great schools.
Yes.
They had great schools, they had great teachers. Most of the teaching staff were all Anglos. Basically, blind hire, if you ask me. When I was like in fourth, fifth, sixth standard, I think a lot of the teachers, non-Anglo-Indian teachers, had a tremendous amount of respect for Anglo-Indian teachers. Because, and if you look back and you talk to a lot of the alumni now, people your age and younger and otherwise, a lot of them would kind of say that, I had a great Anglo-Indian. She was Anglo, she was phenomenal. She was such a good. You don't get that quality anymore. They don't make them like that anymore, bro. Even now, when I put my kids into school as well, I still hear the same comment. So my earliest impressions of the community were they were great teachers. They had great schools, right? With hospitality, with F&B, all of that stuff. You'd see a lot of Anglos involved with those fields. Uh, you wouldn't see a lot of Anglos in the medical field. You wouldn't see Anglos in the engineering field. You wouldn't see them in politics. So there were some things where you didn't see a lot of them there. So those are my earliest impressions of the community. And if you ask me what the issues were, was why didn't we keep the momentum going? Where did we lose sight? Where did we suddenly, you know, take a detour somewhere, drop off all that? Because people in their late 30s and 40s and probably onwards, I think probably confidently they had great impressions of because they were a solid contributor to society. You do that. And I don't hear that anymore. And now it's like I have people going when I say I'm Anglo-Indian, I have to explain them what that means. Because for them it's like some sort of archaic term that the Brits came up with and they try to trace it back to independence. And then even some people don't even consider you Indian. Like there are some people don't, like you're not even a true bred Indian.
I'm so sorry. Could you just repeat that? I mean, that thing was going because what you said right now, right? Mostly everybody has said the same thing.
Yeah.
And you could just repeat that. I think the auto was going.
So I mean, it's like when I have to introduce myself, where I'm from, and initially I say it's a long story, blah blah blah, just brush off the questions and whatnot. But these days, I have to sit and explain it to people and take it back, like really at a basic level, what an Anglo-Indian is, why you call an Anglo, why you just an Indian, and there's also that confusing aspect is that if your father is Anglo-Indian, your children are considered Anglo-Indian, but if your mom is Anglo-Indian and your father is Indian, they are not considered Anglo-Indian. So there's that other angle of the entire thing, which is also really confusing. I never really made any sense of the entire thing, but that was another thing that used to confuse us. Like, oh, it's just taken too. Yeah, you identify with the term when it suits you. Like, for example, somebody wants to get into school. Somebody wants to get into, say, back. So somebody wants to get into, like, I don't know, any Christian-led sort of school. Yeah, I mean, hey, conveniently, then the card is waved, like, the Indian card is waved, like, hey, this was hiding for a while, but it's my trump card sort of thing, But then outside in the larger community setting, people just don't talk about it. They don't identify it as that. They just say,
You see, one of the things is we always have to have a yardstick to measure what we are doing, right? And the simple way everybody can see is that we had 2 seats, we lost those 2 seats.
Yes.
Right? Now, okay, fine. We are not into politics. It's going to take time. Now, to get those seats back, let's take a simulation here, right? What, according to you, should be done? apart from you know the normal protesting.
I think we should pick up the trumpet again.
Yeah.
And I think what doesn't happen in the community is we don't trumpet about what we do enough. I don't think people know about everything now is about awareness. Everything is about connected. Everything is about you. Everyone wants to stay connected. Whatever platforms you're on, whatever, however you run your business. And we run restaurants. You can't isolate yourself from the general public and expect to do brilliantly well business wise. You have to amplify and sometimes even exaggerate what you do in order to lure people into what you have to offer. Just to try what you're offering. That's it. But I think the problem is it's so fast these days how one generation after the next generation after the next it's almost like you have to keep up with the educating people about who you are and what you're doing. Now, for example, let's look at another community. For example, Telugu, right? According to me, they're like very proud. They're very proud of their heritage. Like they trumpet it from the rooftops. Like they don't need an invitation to tell you for them to introduce themselves as cookies and give you a little bit of their history and where they're from and what they do and what they eat and what they're known for and how good looking they are and everything else. You know, and it always amazes me that no matter they're much smaller than our community, but if you look at how much awareness they create about it, you will see people who are not putting a food sticker on their cars. You'll see people visiting food, identifying with the food there, going to Kurgi restaurants, blah blah blah. When's the last time you've been to an Anglo-Indian restaurant? When's the last time you had an Anglo-Indian meal in an Anglo-Indian restaurant?
Yeah, I remember.
Exactly. That's the crux of the problem. We're not we're not telling people who we are. We're not educating people about what we do, what we're known for. We all celebrate our traditions. Hey, we still do the dances. We still do all of that stuff. We're great dancers. We're all of that. We're musically very inclined. Fun community. But how many people know us is that? How many people know us is that? And I think that's the core problem here because I think people are not talking about it. People are not making we're a very, very small drop in the ocean compared to all the other communities. But hey, if the Kurgis can do it, what's our excuse? What's our excuse? Hey, no one's asking you to pay anything. No one's asking you to pay for a billboard advertisement or something like that. But hey, the person sitting next to you should be aware of who you are, where you come from, what your roots are, who your parents are, etc. Hey, why should that all be pushed under a mat? Like it's almost like we're ashamed to talk about for some reason because we have no major accomplishments to talk about. But hey, we're also a community. Hey, we had 2 seats in parliament. Hey, that's got to count for something. They don't give that to everybody and everybody. Why did we lose it? But I just don't think the powers that we think we're influential anymore. They don't believe that we need it anymore. So that's just my 2 cents on what I feel the problems of the community and all of that. And that's probably why I don't choose to be actively involved either. Because it's like, hey, no one's up for a solo career. No one wants to do it on their own.
Unity. A lack of unity, way too much too much. It's very divisive. I think there's a lot of politics to my association better than your association. My association better than this association. Like, as members, as normal people, we don't really care which association you're from. So they like to divide it up saying this event is only for guild members, this one is only for Anglo-Indian, all India Anglo-Indian. Who's going to stand for president? I don't like this guy. I don't like that guy. I have a problem with this guy. This guy is probably not doing enough. Stuff like that, right? So it's unnecessary. It's silly. It's silly if you ask me. It's really silly. You don't really do anything for the community apart from get a title. I was once the president. I was once the general secretary of what?
Now, the thing is, first of all, Hats off, man. That is really passionate of you guys to actually get that, because that is what we need to get out. Like, I kind of feel like we are like this kind of a gold mine that is waiting to erupt, a volcano that is waiting to erupt with gold, and we have that kind of, I'm saying not lava, but really gold, and the potential is there. But it's as if we're all freaking put down. Now using associations, right? I put a video there. So there was this association Calcutta called CAISS. Have you heard of it? The Calcutta Anglo-Indian Society.
No.
So you have these MLAs, ex-MLAs there. So the dialogue that was said, and you can check it out on our page, is there are more associations than members. Okay. Number two, when I was in Kochi, this guy comes and hands me a card. He says, what's this? No, I'm starting a new association. When you already have more than 7 associations, 8, and I don't know how many in Chennai. Right? I did not know there was an association in my rural place. And I only came to know this last night. So, I mean, you guys, as you've rightly said, we have to talk more about it. That is why we want to talk more about you guys. It's not like, oh, they're doing Anglo-Indians. No. You guys are doing something awesome. But the question is, why aren't we talking more about it? Why aren't we connecting you? People come. I want more people from abroad, and the potential is huge. There may be opportunities that you guys can work on, right? I mean, you might not want to do it or whatever, but there's always an opportunity to do so. So my next question is, now we have started this global Anglo-Indian network. What should we do? How should we do it?
Exactly what I said.
Right?
Let the world know what we're made of, what we do.
And that is why we are formed.
Yeah, I think try and claw back some of that respect, claw back some of that recognition for people, because I feel we're a little too stuck in the past. We're a little too stuck in the past. In terms of past glory, what the good old days used to be. We always talk about the good old days. No one's talking about what's happening today. No one's talking about what did somebody do 2 days ago. Everyone's talking about the 80s and 70s and the 90s, golden years and everything else. That was all great, but hey, how do we move forward from there? How do we progress from there? And I think young people in their 20s, people graduating now from the community should aspire to do something that their elders have not done. Why aren't there more doctors? Why aren't there more politicians? Why aren't there more bankers? Why aren't there more IT guys? Why aren't we producing more of those kind of people? Because hey, it shouldn't just be related to music and DJing and bartending. And I'm being extremely blunt here. Sorry, but it's just do
not apologize. This is it.
It's just that. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things. I personally never aspired to fit into that bracket. I never wanted to, just because I'm from that community, what I was beginning to see was, including my parents, I'm not even going to let my parents off the hook for that, because if at some point they were also saying, hey, you can also probably aspire to go and do this. And before we did the restaurant thing, we were doing music quite heavily. We were playing in bands. We were doing a lot of that stuff. But hey, we were never an entertainment hotel band. We were never a wedding band. We were never doing any of that stuff. That had already been done quite a lot. We wanted to do something different. And I think that's what most people should try and do today, is try and take it to the next level. Take it to the next level. Something that your seniors have not done. Something that your elders have not done. Surprise your elders by saying, did you see that coming? Did you see me ever turning into something like this? And I think that's how you, not just you're not going to get respect by boasting about it, by saying, and I think that's also another problem with the community, is that we can tend to boast so much about what was done rather than what is going to be done. That it's a little off-putting for me personally, because I mean, proof is in the pudding. Like, do something and show people that you're doing it, and get respect that way, because that's how the world works today. We're no longer stuck in the 80s. We're no longer stuck in the 90s. Hey, times have changed. You have to move with the times. And I think I really mean that with the community, that we really need to move ahead. We need to match other communities step for step. If people are producing qualified people, graduates, whatnot, doing so well in life. Where's the reason? Where's the need for you? Hey, I'm a guy who came from his family moved back from the UK to India. We didn't go the other way. But you're seeing so many people go from here to the UK to Australia. It's like the most natural kind of next step in your life. Once you graduate, I need to move to Australia. I need to move to Canada. Well, what's wrong with your own country? We have ample amount of opportunity here. The market is so vibrant here. India is doing so well on the global stage. Why do you need to go to another foreign country to take your talent there? Why do you do that?
Now the next question is, how could you help us?
We're happy to talk to young people. We're happy to tell people our story. We're happy to try and break the mold of what already exists. We're happy to shake people's illusions of what they think they're supposed to do versus what they can do. And we're happy to do that with young people. We've done it, not related to the community, but we've done it in colleges. We have spoken to young people graduating to give them a realistic idea of what exists in today's market.
The counseling, mentoring.
So reality is very different from, like with respect to our field, for example.
Like if people know when you work in your community, you could inspire somebody to probably do something a little bigger. Could be in this field, could be some other field.
Networking, yeah. That's the main thing.
You get inspired, right? And then somebody says, I want to do this one day. So then they look at a little bigger than what you do right now. I want to do that. It's not impossible. You can do it. You want to do it. It's just that you have to actually do it. Okay. So somebody may look at us and say, like, look at these guys, like, they managed to establish a brand here in Bangalore. Maybe if I looked in the same, even I'm interested in a hospitality business or the activity business, maybe I want to do something in that sense. So they pick up from where you then and they make it better. Or they follow the same thing and they start something up on their own. They could be dedicated to them and really proud of their roots. Because right now, if you ask me personally, I don't think there are restaurants or cafes out there that I know of that actually do specific Anglo-Indian. They like to talk about it. They like to talk about recipe books and stuff like that. Like Bridget is a classic example of that. Bridget takes it out and takes it to hotels, takes it. She does that all over the place. That's the only time people come to know about your classic country captain dishes and your devil chutneys and your ball curry rice and stuff like that. She takes it out and she does that. So, and she's doing it with aspiring chefs, guys like that. So she's introducing the cuisine to them per se. Or the other option is you see them on like where you can order online. And somebody is making it in their house and then you can order it from them and they send it to you. Like we're doing like a steak or we're doing like an Anglo-Indian spread or a lunch or something like that. You only see that online. But at least they're doing that, they're reaching out to some people.
So for this, I request everybody do check out Bridget's interview because that is what we actually discussed.
Right.
Right? So we want to help. There's a lady who wants to start up in Hyderabad doing what you said.
Right.
And we want to do something in Bangalore. So if we can get more women, but it should be women-led as well.
Yeah.
I just don't hear a lot of women. In the sense there are, right? I'm not saying they're not, but even where we went, the lady who's just joining our board, she's from Delhi, right? Maria. Look, just listen to her speech if you get onto our platform, right? What she said, and we are all very tired. So something has to be done. Yeah. So thanks, guys. I really appreciate it, and really, now that is what the more than that, the passion was awesome. Okay, the idea is to get angry. To be very honest with you, okay, because if we do not get angry, we do not understand what is happening, we are done, and that's the honest truth, right? Thanks, guys. Thank you, everybody, and hole in the wall when you come down towards Indranagar, Koramangala, and basically all the Aussies who are coming down here and the Canadians. See you guys. Thank you.